It's 1:41 on Sunday the 15th, and this upload is with regard to the ongoing trouble in Tralee that's being caused due to individuals that have been of very serious offences that I've related in these uploads. This trouble has only commenced since I became a married mother as a consequence of individuals that have been of property theft and financial theft. There's been a lot of canvassing, a lot of campaigning for very dangerous wrongdoings to be perpetrated against a mother, a married mother, and there's been a lot of idiocy with regard to culprits and their hypotheses that are very unsubstantiated, very unintelligent, and very irrational. So, as I've mentioned throughout these uploads, the facts of these matters are common knowledge, and unfortunately, the present circumstances just highlight a poor circumstance of how there have been so many failings and so little courage and so little bravery with confronting individuals that have just no respect for human life. My circumstances have been of denigration and human rights violations as a consequence of these people trying to monopolise, isolate, and steal all around them. Tonight, I'm in a circumstance that is not what I'm used to, but what has been happening since I became a married mom. There, as usual, individuals in my proximity disrespecting civil society, disrespecting family and faith, and just being very careless with regard to the reality of the situation. And the reality of the situation is that there's a child that I gave birth to that has been without his mom and that has suffered as a consequence. The other factor that is a reality is that there has been obstructions and perversions of justice. The other fact of this matter is that there has been repeat theft of a collective trying to monopolise a circumstance to attain my entitlements, and they have no right to, and they have threatened the peace, and they have been a hazard to society. They have a reputation of disrespect and discourtesy and careless behaviour, and they have been of bad favours to gain rights to my entitlements that are not negotiable. So the people in this collective that think that with their tactics of favours and beckoning and begging and bailing and all those kind of manoeuvres gets them leeway, right of way to my rights and entitlements. The other factor of this is that my husband, Mr. Richard McElligott, is, as far as I know, a missing person. So there's an issue of this being quite serious for the authorities with regard to the properties of my husband and I in Ardfert and Kilflynn, and of our child, Gareth McElligott. So this is for the interest of the United Nations. There's an issue with regard to these individuals violating protocol proximity and being a falsehood, slander, etc., and false reporting. There have been, as I've mentioned throughout these uploads, my accomplishments in legislation, my accomplishments in humanitarian work, my accomplishments as an educator, etc., etc. And it's really insulting to each facet of society that I represent and that I have worked with, that these individuals that have been of very serious offences against the state and very serious offences against the principles of progress that have been taking place in the past 3 to 4 years, in particularly, that they would be careless about the damages that have already been caused. So with regard to faith, religion and family, I just have to reiterate that the dangerous matter of the individuals that have damaged from a sacred royal here on this upload has consequences as well that these people just have no common sense about. So I'm really concerned about the role of the agencies and bodies with the responsibility to ensure my safety and to respect what I'm due and to respect what I own. So this is the upload for this hour of the morning. Noise pollution, disturbances of the peace, violations, etc., and people being really cheeky with other people's property and wealth. That isn't negotiable. So that's my upload for now. And I'd appreciate if the relevant agencies and bodies would address this, because 3 years is a long time to be tolerating what I'm tolerating. So that's as much as I'd say for now. And it's a sad sign of the times.